Welcome back. Reacher Season 2's plot has multiple problems that demonstrate that Season 3 will have to deviate from the show's book format. Reacher Season 2 is set in New York City as opposed to Season 1, which was set in a small hamlet. The urban backdrop of New York City presents Jack Reacher and his new crew with a whole new set of dynamics and obstacles. Therefore, the show's second season setting alone has a significant impact on how the plot develops. The return of Roscoe and Finlay, the protagonists' two key allies from Season 1, is not possible due to the shift in the show's location for Reacher Season 2, but the appearance of the protagonists' previous squad members from the 110th Special Investigations Unit is a welcome addition. But even with all of its positive aspects, Reacher Season 2 doesn't feel as good as Season 1. There is a single main reason why the new season isn't up to par, even though numerous other things may have also played a role. Reacher Season 2 seems to include a lot of pointless padding to make the show longer while having a gripping premise in which the lead character had to work with Neagley, Dixon, and David to solve the enigmatic killings of his former teammates. For example, in contrast to Season 1, Season 2 appears to have multiple alterations to the book's original plot, bloated action scenes that are overly long, and tediously repeated dialogue. The fact that the 8-episode length of the show cannot accommodate the plot of Bad Luck and Trouble without causing pacing problems is evidence that the book itself lacked adequate content. By drawing Jack Reacher into a global conspiracy involving the sale of weapons, Lee Child's Bad Luck and Trouble successfully increases the stakes for the main character. It is seldom ranked among the greatest volumes of the original book series, though, in spite of this, the fact that it expands on the scope and urgency of Reacher's main mission and adds more personalities to the cast probably convinced the program to pick it up for Season 2. It also makes it possible for the Amazon series to divulge additional information on Reacher's prior military service. Unfortunately, Season 2 lacks the narrative depth and tight structure required for an engaging television adaptation, which is why it feels less exciting than Season 1, even though it has more primary characters, flashbacks, and more stakes. If Bad Luck and Trouble had only been adapted for half of Season 2, it probably would have worked better. This would have made it possible for the season to cover every significant story element in the first Lee Child book without lengthening its running time with exposition and other details that have little to no bearing on the main idea of the show. The 6th episode of Reacher Season 2 is a perfect illustration of why it would have been preferable for the show to adapt 2 books rather than just one. The episode's action sequences make it clear that Reacher and his group are being given story armor by the program in order to increase the runtime. The final death in Reacher Season 2, Episode 6, is heartbreaking, but it feels like an unneeded departure from the original story because, in all likelihood, a police investigator like Russo would have taken some precautions to protect himself, such as donning a bulletproof vest while on the mission. If the show's makers had adapted 2 books instead of 1, they would not have felt the need to incorporate these manufactured tension and poignant moments. Reacher Season 3 should adapt 2 books to avoid Season 2's errors, given how many other books in Lee Child's Jack Reacher series have similar problems and don't have enough material to support full-fledged season. Killing Floor was ideal for a full-season adaptation, especially in light of Reacher's first season's success. Aside from Killing Floor, though, Worth Dying For, Gone Tomorrow, Tripwire, 61 Hours, and Without Fail are the other 5 Lee Child novels that may work well as a whole season. Worth Dying For has some of the most compelling and well-written supporting characters, but Gone Tomorrow has a sharp hook that sets up a gripping post-9/11 story. Tripwire has the potential to be a successful season since it cracks Reacher's tough-as-nails exterior just enough to reveal his frail side. Because of their large-scale stories and the personal stakes they hold for the characters, Without Fail and 61 Hours alone have the power to suspense a whole Reacher season. For more, subscribe.